I ask creators the kind of questions HR would definitely approve of. Then I throw in a few wildcards just to keep them guessing. This week's guest is...
Lucard.
It is Lucard. He's here. Look, there he is.
Hey, in the flesh, not AI generated. I don't think.
Flesh, unlike your friend at the side of you there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
there's no flesh here. No.
You got hungry waiting for me to come online. So it's awesome to be chatting to you. This is a little bit different. I interviewed you maybe 2 years ago, and it was audio. This is going to be a little bit different. This is the first time I've done this. It's a strange one. I'm probably going to talk more now than I am any other point during the video. So so stay tuned, everybody. But basically, a couple of years ago, before we knew each other, I met this incredibly inspirational person when I was doing my day job, and he was telling me about. I had to interview him, and that's part of my job, and about his role. And he was talking about cultural fit questions, and I was like, I don't like to pretend I know stuff when I don't. So I was like, what does that mean? What are cultural fit questions? And he was basically saying, like, when he's looking to take somebody on in the workplace, will they fit in? Finding the right culture fit. Not necessarily does that person, are they, really good in an interview, but like, how do they fit? And I was thinking, okay, so I want to know how some of my favorite creators and favorite people, how they fit in the YouTube landscape or the creator landscape. Like, where do they fit in that same sort of way? So that's where we get cultural fit from. And then I was thinking, well, that's going to be really interesting, kind of, hopefully. Yeah, people will be the judge. But then I thought, well, there has to be a silly side as well. And I'm a big fan of Richard Herring's emergency questions books. And I thought, well, we could finish with some of those. There are, I think, around 800, 900 questions in here. You can just choose 4 or 5.
We're going to do all of them.
We're going to do all of them. No one's allowed to leave until we're all done.
14 hours.
So, yeah.
Stream.
so that's my big talking part over with, really. So first thing is, thanks so much for doing the interview. I really appreciate it, Al.
No problem. I love being a guinea pig, so that's
well, this is it. Yeah, I'm going to be prodding you and poking you. So I guess the first thing I'm going to ask you about is, in terms of the work, the things that you do on YouTube for fun. What is it that, hopefully for fun, no one's forcing you to do them, are you? What is it that gets you excited about posting things? Because, for example, when we're recording this, you've posted 2 videos today, and I think a third is on its way, and another, because you do other things as well as YouTube. What is it that gets you excited about doing that? Why do you do it? Because not everybody does.
Excuse me. I like exposing people to stuff that they've never seen. So like earlier, I do movie reviews and stuff, and I do these movie reviews of movies that are very little known, or super indie or underground or whatever. And I just like getting these movies out there, getting people talking about them, and helping independent filmmakers get their movie out there.
Yeah. Oh, cool. And would that be like, what would be the perfect response to that? Not necessarily like, oh, I want this amount of people watching it or sharing it or whatever, but like, if somebody was to write a comment on one of your videos, what would be the sort of thing that makes you go, oh, that's really cool?
The thing that always gets me is that after, like, say, a movie review or something, somebody will go and watch it, and then they'll comment about the movie because I talked about the movie. That just blows my mind. It still blows my mind. It always will, I think. And
that's awesome.
I appreciate people listening. and people paying attention to what I'm saying and to, to actually taking the time and doing whatever it is I'm talking about.
It's funny you should say that, because when I made my documentary recommendations documentary and you recommended The Sentinel, I hadn't seen it. I watched it, and then I ended up talking about it in my podcast, and a few other people were talking about the film as well, and it all could kind of be traced back to your suggestions. So I guess, like you say, that's a must be a lovely feeling.
Exactly. That's one of my favorite things about YouTube.
Yeah. Well, is that what? So that's what appeals to you about having that role? Because obviously, having a channel on YouTube, like for example, I've just I found recently my first ever video that I did with my friend, and I put it up yesterday, and I just remember when we did that, and I think I was like, there was like one person watching it originally, and I was like, I had a great time, I didn't care. And I think then afterwards, I think that the person who was watching it was me, because I had it on the TV. So I literally think it was just me and my friend David at the time. He's still my friend now, but at the time, so I was just thinking, yeah, I think what appeals to me about it's just kind of like having fun with friends. And I think that sometimes people like watching other people have fun with friends. So there's an element of that to it as well, would you say, or no?
Oh, 100%. When I started YouTube, I had no inkling that there was any camaraderie, nothing. I knew nothing. I just started just because I was like, let me do something. And then it just turned into this big, massive. I have a ton of friends now just because of YouTube, including yourself. Yeah, that's how we met.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people,
Yeah,
people
right.
like people like Gareth, or those
Man.
people. But yeah, no, it's one big, like, kind of happy, crazy little YouTube family, and it's neat.
Totally.
It's neat because you meet different people from different cultures and different. Everybody's so different yet all similar because you kind of like the same stuff.
Yeah,
So it's really neat, and then seeing all the different versions of reviews, or just styles of videos, or whatever. It's just it's awesome.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Because I when I've been talking about, or when people have been asking me questions, and I've been kind of sat in your seat, I found myself just listing off people that I've really enjoyed their videos, or I really enjoy talking with them, or I just enjoy them as a person. And I was like, oh, this could just end up just being a list, because that's just how great they it is. And it's unusual to find that, because we're told in a way that the wider world now, everybody's more disparate and more selfish and more separate, and just don't have that connection. Yet people are very kind, in my experience, very kind and very friendly and funny and engaging and supportive, which goes against what we're told people are like online.
Very true. That's very true. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think it? How has it changed for you? So how long have you had your channel, and how has it changed?
Oh gosh, 3 or 4 years. 4 years, I think, maybe ish, something like that. Like I said, it's just I started this as a time waster. Is really is really what it was. And people started appreciating some of the stuff I was doing, so I just kept going, and just just kind of where I'm at now. It's just, yeah, but it's neat. And my favorite though is when people that I don't know or never heard of or whatever, they comment, and they get in videos, and I'm like, dude, I don't know you from, you're from Wisconsin or something. I'm like, I don't, it's still mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. And like, do you think that there's like a lesson that you've learned from your sort of putting videos out, from when you first started putting them out and when you put them out now? Like, is there either like a technical piece of advice that you'd give someone, or if not a technical piece of advice, just like a kind of a bit of homespun wisdom, so to speak, about like that might help someone who just wants to get going with it themselves?
My best advice would be it takes time. It takes time to get comfortable behind the camera and with the mic, and it takes a little bit of time.
Yeah.
And just let it come. It'll come. Um, get decent audio equipment. That is, I think one of the top things I could possibly recommend. Get a halfway decent microphone, and you'll
Mhm.
pretty much be okay.
Yeah, I can definitely see the difference in the things. Like I've tried to gradually upgrade and to what I suppose it's not my question, but sometimes you can kind of get really good quality stuff secondhand that's like
Oh yeah.
just as yeah, that's what I did for my recent mics, and I'm so much happier with them than I was with my older ones. Um, so yeah, the only thing I need to do now is have a better broadband, but living out in the middle of nowhere, I don't think that's going to
Yeah,
happen for a few
yeah,
years.
that's that. A lot of times, that kind of stuff you have no control out of, So yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, let's say get a decent mic and just start, just go for it, just
just do it. Yeah,
just do it. Yeah,
just
just
do it,
do it.
man.
You'll learn along the way.
Yeah, it's
You know?
funny. Somebody had said that like each video, if you try and get like 1% better each time you do it,
Yeah,
then yeah, my problem is then I'll look at something and I'll be like, I'm not as happy with that as I was. And often the things that I put less effort into, not that I didn't put any effort into it, but less, seem to do better than things I've spent hours and hours and hours on.
yes, and that
Is that something that you
absolute
experience too? Or
yes,
yeah,
absolutely, 100%. The things that I am the most proud of, nobody watches. The stuff
yeah,
that I put together in 2 seconds and just throw on there that blows up, and
yeah.
and I'll never understand it, but, it's sometimes it's just the way it is.
So talking about culture and things that kind of influence you and you're interested, like if we just talk about because most people go, oh, movies and music and things like that, but where do you get your like what do you follow any other like blogs or websites or things that you kind of get your information from that kind of influences what you're going to put online yourself?
Um, not
Or,
I
or is that
mean,
an old
I
fashioned
I was
question? Do we not
I
look at
guess I was
blogs
kinda
anymore?
inspired by, people like the Cinema Snob and Brendan Tenold, those type of guys. Um, but I don't know, like my videos aren't that. They're I'm not that, but I do try to throw in humor, and I do try to, I do try to make it entertaining and stuff. But um not really like my YouTube watching in particular is all over the place. I mean, I'll
Yeah.
watch tech stuff, I'll watch travel vlogs, I'll watch, I'll watch all kind of stuff. So I'm very
Yeah.
just all over the place sometimes.
Well, I think that's good. I think most people are though, because there's so much
I would
great stuff
imagine.
out there. You have to
Yeah.
just kind of um sometimes it's not that there isn't great stuff to watch, it's that there's almost so much that it's really hard to filter it
It
and
is.
and choose
It
what
is.
you want to watch. Yeah.
And that
So
and
like
that's why I really appreciate anyone that watches any of my stuff, because there's so much stuff out there. So for someone to
totally.
take a couple of minutes out of their day and watch one of my little silly videos, that means the world to me.
Yeah, totally. No, I really agree, and yeah, I really agree with that for sure. So in terms of like the way y- this is going to be a bit of a strange question, but like, does does like online? We talked about this a little bit earlier on. We touched on it a little bit earlier on about how we're kind of told that there's a lot of like mean comments and mean people, and people who'll kind of just have a nasty approach to what they're doing. But like, is there a role like for what we do and what you do, should I say, online, like for kindness and empathy and humor? Like, are those things still um like something that you think are possible to put out online and kind of get a response, or are we in this like kind of rage bait culture where we have to kind of upset people to get their engagement? Like, what's your take on that?
I think that just depends on the author of the some yes, some no. I always try to be positive even when I don't like something. I'll try to at least at least give something about it. Hey, but this part's good. So I try to not go that route, the crazy route.
Yeah.
It there's a lot of that out there. And we get it too. There's this, snarky comments and whatever that sometimes we have to deal with. And that's never fun. It never feels good. But you just, it's like, you know what? I'm not making this for you. I'm making this for the other person.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not for you. Scroll on by.
Yeah,
Like,
keep going, bro.
yeah,
Just keep going. You don't even need to. You don't need to do all that.
It's hard to kind of understand somebody's mentality where they have to tell you that they didn't like something. Because, like, when I don't like something, I mean, okay, I was just thinking, as I said that, I was thinking I do my letterbox that I give ratings of films. However, and I do reviews as well. But when I don't like something, like say I've watched a video and I don't like it, I'm not just like, really didn't like that. And like, that's a kind of different mentality. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. I've never got to that point where I have to remind somebody why I didn't like their video that they made on YouTube or something. So do you think there is like a so you've kind of answered this one, but like, do you have like a stock way? Because if people are looking to kind of get involved and do things on YouTube, do you have like a way built into how you deal with things? Like, how do you respond to critique? How do you take critique?
It depends on how it's delivered.
Yeah.
If it's delivered respectfully, I will bend over backwards to try to figure out how to change it or how to make it better. But if it's just a snide like little remark, I'm like, you know what, whatever, and I just ignore it. I delete it and ignore it.
Do you know what I know? Like, I know quite a few people who are really good at that. Like, if somebody is a negative person and they don't like them and they've just been horrible to them, they're able to just be like, it doesn't matter what they think, and it bounces off them and they never think about it again. For me, it doesn't matter even if I don't like you. It upsets me. It really does hit me very hard. And I in a way, YouTube has helped me with that. I think you've helped me with that as well. Like, I'll screenshot things and send them to you, and we'll make a joke about the response.
Right.
And then that takes the kind of takes the heat out of it a little bit. Yeah. So maybe if you've got somebody who can do that for you and you can kind of trust them, and
that does tend to help. Yeah, that does tend to help.
Yeah, it's funny though, because it's then again, I think that depends on, you've got to have your own kind of trusted inner circle in order to do that. Otherwise, it's sketchy,
True.
Isn't it? Yeah.
True. Yeah. Very true. Yeah. I can probably count on one hand how many people I can do that with, and you're one of them.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. So if there was like a boss of YouTube who was like your line manager, do you think they would how do you think, if they were trying to sell your channel to investors on ads or something, like, and they had to use 3 hashtags or 3 words to sum you up, either you as a person or you as a channel, what do you think what sort of words would they have?
Oh gosh. That's a good one.
I know that's a tough question. We're still on the cultural fit questions. These are ones that you to see if if like how you fit where you are now and where you would fit in the future.
Jeez, that's a good question.
Yeah,
man, I don't know. I don't think that's up to me. I think that's up to the audience.
Yeah,
I think because what I think of my channel and my stuff is probably completely different than what you think or what someone else thinks. So
Yeah.
to someone else, I may be this. To me, I'm not that at all, but to them, I am. So
Mm.
I would say that that's not up to me. That's up to the audience. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's all. Yeah. Like beauty is in the eye of the beholder, I guess.
Yeah.
So if you think of like the YouTube landscape, because I'm not going to go too much on more. I have a big section on communication and collaboration, but I really feel like we talked a lot about collaboration. So if I was to say, like, do you prefer doing videos just by yourself or do you prefer collaborating? I guess you'd say both. You like both, but just in different ways, or am I putting words in
Yeah,
your
they're
mouth?
both completely different. When I make my my reviews and stuff and my solo videos, like I'm very um I'm very focused on like a goal. Now, when I
Mm.
do streams and stuff with other people, like with you or with Gareth or whoever, Patrick, uh, it's more just fun and just it's kind of like it's kind of like friend time or pal time or something. Kind of like it's more camaraderie and more it's easy. Especially with people that I've done it with a lot, like you and Gareth and stuff, and like it's just we already have this rapport with each other, so all
Yeah.
that just whatever. It's just we just go for it and we just it's just fun. So it's two totally different experiences, but I like them both.
Yeah, I think the like you say, when you know someone, it is different. Because I remember I used to get when it was somebody I didn't know, I used to get quite nervous beforehand, like just
Mhm.
before I went
And I
online.
still do. If it's somebody I don't know or someone who I've only like chatted with
Yeah,
online,
I
yeah,
probably do with people.
I I do get nervous with those. Like I
Yeah,
said, I don't get nervous with people I've done it 1,000 times with that. No, I don't get nervous at all because it's just a fun time.
yeah. Watch parties, I would get more nervous for than an interview because interviews are kind of like something I do a lot, or I did do a lot
Mhm.
in real life.
Right,
Um,
right.
Whereas, like a watch party, if there's quite a few people there and you don't know some of them, you're trying to make a good impression or at least be friendly and not talk over someone and let them speak and
Mhm.
not not kind of say the wrong thing, make them feel included. It's actually quite tricky.
So I'm kind of the opposite. I'm
Ah,
I'm I'm much easier with the watch parties and stuff, and a little bit harder on the interviews because the interviews I feel like I always have to prepare like really really well and kind of
yeah,
kind of get to know them before I get to know them. If you know what I mean.
yeah, no,
And
totally.
so what I've done lately, and I've only had one person take me up on it. I do have a couple people said that they will do it, but they haven't done it yet. So I've kind of combined them. So it's a watch party, but it's sort of an interview during the movie as well.
That's
So
a good
we're
idea.
watching the movie and talking about the movie, but then I'll come up with questions about them and their career and stuff while the movie's going on. So
Yeah,
I really
no.
like that idea, and I hope more people, I hope more filmmakers and artists will come on board and do it with me.
Do you know what? I had a similar thought, almost like maybe not for new, might be a bit different because that was more for people who maybe are wanting to talk about a film that they're promoting, or then again, I was thinking of like people who have made films like in the past that I really enjoy. Almost doing another director's commentary with them, because to be honest, that would be my dream job. I'd be the guy on the Blu-rays doing the
Mhm.
director's
That would be
commentary with them.
fun.
That would
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm not being mean or whatever, but sometimes I listen to them and I'm just like, people don't seem very excited to be doing
Yeah.
not the
Yeah.
not the
Certain people in
not the
particular.
yeah,
Yeah.
not the actual artist. The artists seem okay, but like the person who's interviewing the artist deals of it. And I'm like, wow, you're getting it. It's really cool. Like it's really awesome that you're getting to do that. Yeah, cheer
Right?
up.
It's like, come on, dude.
Anyway,
Yeah, that's like one of the coolest things ever. Yeah.
yeah.
I no, I,
Back when
I I agree completely. Yeah.
yeah, it's like DVD and DVD extras, and I used to go to the library and print out the um, Easter eggs so I could watch all the little clips and extra
Hmm.
interviews and behind the scenes. So press up, down, and all this to open up the secret info. Like
Yep,
this is
yep.
this is a dream. This is essentially what I'm doing on YouTube now, really. So if you were just to talk about how you see YouTube now in 2025 from your point of view as a creator on YouTube putting videos out, how would you describe the culture more widely, not just like the people you know and work with, but just like how I have my own take on it, but like how do you see YouTube as a whole? Is it still a really good place to be a creator, or is it more of a TikTok or Instagram? Is it is it just as important? Do you think
Um, it,
as a
it
viewer maybe or a creator?
it's still YouTube still serves its purpose, but it does seem to be um it's sort of a mixed bag because it's sort of the Wild West, and then it's sort of this weird um contained beast. And what I mean by that is like for example, you can go and watch uh this like full length movie, all right?
Yeah,
Then you
there's
can go
tons of
and
great.
watch grandma cooking a chicken casserole or something, and like, and then you can go and watch a travel vlog guy going, from America going to Rome or something, and then like, this real high quality stuff, and then yet this real home video, like, oh, this was grandma's birthday party, like it's
Yeah,
it's still YouTube is all over the place. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. But
no,
it's hard to get your stuff noticed. And it's hard to get the audience that you want because of this wacky algorithm and whatnot. And so people figured out, no one's figured out the damn algorithm. I don't care what they
no,
say. No one has figured
no.
it out, and you're not going to. I really don't care what anybody says about that, because
I mean,
that's really what I think.
these tutorial videos and things like that, if they were as good as they said they were, then each of those videos would have like 12 million viewers, and often they don't.
Exactly, exactly. So whatever. And then and then there's the scammers. There's this, there's that. Like I said, YouTube is the Wild West. But
Yeah, do you know what I was thinking about this? What's frustrating about it is that they and this goes for most social media now. So it doesn't matter if you're a big superstar putting up a show every week, you can't really connect to a real person if you
Mhm,
have an issue about something. They could decide that that video is either you have to take it down, it's against some guidelines, it's got something in it that it shouldn't, it's got something in it in a way that it shouldn't have been presented,
mhm.
whatever it is. But they just and it's always and it doesn't matter. And I've seen I literally watched a video today and it's somebody and he was just like, oh yeah, he's somebody with millions and millions of subscribers. And he was like, yeah, I've got no clue why that interview was taken down. They wouldn't say it's never specific. It's always
No,
general, but it's
very, very
always
good.
just enough to keep you kind of thinking, oh well, if I do this, and then it'll be, it feels a little bit like the Wizard of Oz,
Mhm.
like behind and,
Yes, 100%. Yes, yes. Yep.
and I'm not sure if that means that we're going. It sometimes feels, to mix my metaphors, a little bit Orwellian and a little bit Big Brother, and that makes me a little concerned. But it's also real. Like I watch more YouTube videos than I watch television, and like you say, it's great. I can find pretty much anything I want.
Mhm.
But there doesn't seem to be like I like fairness, and sometimes things don't seem very fair. Like you say, I could go and watch a movie, full movie, and great, like no problem. But if I put like a clip with a little bit of that movie on it, it'd be like copyright. I'm like, whoa, hang on.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it's
Oh, yeah,
really weird. It doesn't.
copyright stuff, which look, I totally get copyright stuff. But
Yeah, yeah, totally. But I
I
don't.
and I'm totally all for, the artist getting the whatever. Yeah, completely.
Yes.
It's like
Yeah.
yeah, YouTube doesn't give you the opportunity to uh, to use anything, and it's
Yeah.
basically all they want is what's happening right now. Me and you talking. That's what they
Mm.
want. They don't want
Yeah.
clips. They don't want this. They don't want that. Like this, it's and it can get frustrating. It can absolutely be frustrating. Um, I've had videos taken down. I had a video taken down that I did 3 years ago.
Yeah, and
Because
that's what I mean. You wouldn't mind if it was consistent and clear.
yeah,
You'd be like, "Oh, that makes sense," because oh, I guess I put a bit of artwork in that belonged to somebody, and I didn't, attribute it. And if you told me to attribute it, I would, and then they'd be fine with it. But that's not how it is. It's more like it's almost like just a lucky dip, and they pull one out and go, "That one's not okay," and then there's one right next to it exactly the same, and go, "That's fine."
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's so bizarre. But then again, on the flip side of that, um, I've through YouTube, I've made friends with a couple of musicians, and
Mm.
they've given me some music that I can use in my videos, and I do. I use their music in my videos.
Yeah.
And they, because it's free promotion. That's exactly what it is, and that's what that's what I'm trying to do. Free promotion for these movies and for these indie guys. It's free promotion, and that's the thing I don't quite get
Yeah.
why like YouTube is so just with anything.
Yeah, because I had one where I was interviewing somebody and it was his trailer, and
Yeah,
he sent me the trailer. I put it on, and they were like, "You're gonna have to take that down. It's copyright." And it was like, he's just
yes.
told me to show his trailer. Like he wants me to show this, but there was no
I
way of
had
him allowing it.
I actually had a similar situation. Yeah, I did an interview, and we recorded it, and I put the trailer in, and he told me I could do it, and I did it, and of course, it immediately got copyrighted. I mean, it still let me play it, but it still got
Yeah,
copyrighted like that. And
that is bonkers,
that's,
really.
that's the other thing I want to say about doing YouTube. If you're trying to get into YouTube to make money, don't.
Yeah,
That's not.
yeah,
Just don't. Just don't. Just that. Don't even let that be a focus. That's not. It's an extra benefit once you get there, if you get there, but that's it. Don't rely on it. It's not a job.
yeah.
It's not. No, don't do anything. It's a hobby. Just keep it there.
I think with the don't rely on it part for sure, because there's so many stories of people telling me where they've worked really hard, they've got monetized, and it's almost like they've made a little bit of money, and it's almost like it rings certain alarm bells, and all of a sudden, all the content on your channel becomes a lot more interesting to YouTube, and they want
Mm-hmm.
this taken down, that taken down, and then if you don't do this, then we'll stop your monetization. That
Mm-hmm.
is a pretty common story. So I guess if you're doing it, you got to do it because it's fun and you enjoy it. Because it is not.
Yeah.
Unless you become Mr. Beast, you're not going to.
You're not right.
And
You're not gonna. Right. Yeah.
and
You
to be
gotta
honest,
have them to root for somebody. Yeah.
I have my concerns about him as well. Something megalomaniacal about him that worries me.
Yeah.
I feel like he's
Funny
the
enough,
president.
I've only watched maybe one or two videos from him, and just that is just
I don't.
not
Yeah,
for me
it's
at
just a lot.
all.
It
Just no.
it's like this. It's like
Yeah.
this rictus thing that worries me.
Yeah.
It might be a
But
lovely guy. Don't get me
but
wrong, it could be lovely.
but what you just said, you do it because it's fun and you want to do it, and that's what makes the best videos.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And would you say that? And this isn't one of the questions, but I was just thinking, it's something that's been pecking in the back of my head for ages and ages. Is this idea of like, if you want to be successful, you've got to have a niche, and it's got to be very, very nichey, like very specific. Therefore, if you're like you and I, where we like lots of things and we put lots of things out there, that almost counts against you in terms of viewership. Or do you not agree with that?
Not necessarily. Like for example, like you and I do the surviving series where we watch silly videos and react to them.
Mm.
It's a comedic show, and it's just for pure fun, It has nothing to do with anything else I do on the channel. I do it because I enjoy it. I like hanging out with you, and I like watching silly videos. So,
Same.
you know, like it, and those videos typically don't do that well. But you know what? I don't care because I'm having fun doing it.
Yeah, and I was the same. Like with those, I could release 2 of those, and one of them would do really well, and the other one wouldn't. And I was just
I'll never understand why some of them do really well and some of them don't. And it's kind of like the
yeah.
same exact thing, but it's, I don't know, it's bizarre. It's bizarre.
And sometimes I'll look at one that's on yours of the same thing. We've done the same video, and like it's done really well on yours, and it's not done really well on mine. And then the other way, vice versa.
Yeah, and then opposite on another one. I know. It's weird.
It just
weird.
makes no sense whatsoever.
Nope.
So moving on from that side of things, like, because obviously we have lives outside of YouTube.
We do?
Do you give yourself like deadlines and stress when it comes to YouTube, or do you try to bear in mind I literally have just given myself a ridiculous deadline recently with YouTube, which is to post something every day. But do you give yourself deadlines, or how do you manage that so that it doesn't become a job? I suppose is the best way of playing that.
For YouTube, no, I don't do that I used to kind of be like, okay, I got to have this out by Wednesday or whatever. No, I don't do that anymore. I get it out when I get it out. If something's pressing, I try to get it out in a timely fashion. Like, for example, the one I released today, I did a movie review, and you know, the movie has been out, I think, a week or two, and you know, I'm friends with the, I'm friendly with the director, so you know, I kind of wanted to get it out there. I didn't want to, like, fart around and it's like, oh, let me do this with it. No, I just let me do it. I did it, and now it's out, and so in a way I do, but typically no, I don't try to put limits on that kind of stuff. However, I also host a show on a Roku channel. Now that I try to get in on a timely fashion, so that I'll give deadlines on.
Yeah. So you've given yourself a different kind of deadline. So like to be productive, because I know some people find it really hard they might make one video and then find it really hard to want to make a second. Like, is there a secret to productivity, to like keeping it going? Because I think it's a bit, I was trying to remember, there was something recently where a guy was saying, oh no, that was it. It was talking about burnout in teaching, about like, I used to always have this in the back of my mind when I was like daily teaching. I was like, oh, I'm smashing it. Like most teachers are quit by now. Is there like a secret to remaining productive over time? Because that might be where you start to go, well,
I mean, I think really the secret is just liking what you're doing. Make videos that you would want to watch. And that's kind of what I do. I make videos that if I wouldn't have made it and somebody else did, I would actually still watch it. And I've gotten better over time. My early videos are terrible. I can't even watch them. They're garbage. But like, you just learn over time. But it's just, I think as long as you like what you're doing, you'll be fine. Don't put deadlines on yourself. Just do it when you want. Do it, do it because you love it. Don't do it because you need to.
No, that's a good point. So I've got two more little areas here. I'm gonna kind of I want to get onto some silly questions as well. So I want to kind of balance it nicely with.
Wait, these aren't silly questions?
These are the silly ones. Even my serious ones are silly. So we talked a little bit about like culture of YouTube in general and your channel in general and what people might take from it, and obviously how important the audience is. And then we talked a bit about work-life balance. If you could describe a dream job, it doesn't have to be YouTube related. It could just be anything. there's like a dream job, a bit like I was saying before, like if somebody would just pay me to do riff tracks or something, or director's commentaries, or be the new host on Mystery Science Theater or something like that. Like that would be my like dream. What would be your dream job in that realm?
I would say filmmaker. I went to school for filmmaking. I have a degree in filmmaking. It's something that I love. I love creating content and just I'm not a great writer. And I've never have been. But you give me something and I can make it. You give me something and I can do it. So like, yeah,
Well,
that's
like the opposite.
so I guess it's more adapting. I'm a good adapter. So like I said, you give me something and I can deal with it.
See, I'm the opposite. I can write about loads of stuff.
Right, exactly. So therefore, you come up with it and then I'll make it. You see, that's what we got to do.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure we've had this conversation.
Yeah.
So, and I guess that's collaboration. That goes back to what I was saying before about collaboration. So, when would you say, either professionally, personally, YouTube, that you have took a risk? Like when do you think can you highlight a time when you took a risk?
Let me think. Oh man, yeah, that's a risk. Okay. I mean, I've covered random things sometimes. Like one of the biggest, I guess, departures that I've done, I've done besides the watch parties and stuff, because sometimes we watch some like really ridiculous stuff. But I covered a super no budget comedy that no one knew even existed, and the video actually did rather well, and I was surprised. But that's sort of one instance where I was like, well, I don't know if my audience, because you kind of develop this particular audience. I don't know if my audience would be into this, but they were, and
It's weird. It's weird that, isn't it?
Yeah, and then the other one that I did, I started doing. I started kind of talking about different genres and stuff, and doing these videos where I'll put in like the trailers. I'll kind of do a little thing about it, and then I'll put the trailer in so you can see what I'm talking about. And a lot of those, some of them did really, really well. In fact, I think one of my best videos is that, and then some of them get like nothing. So it just I don't know. It's just it's
all
again,
a risk.
it's kind of all a risk if you really think about it.
Yeah,
It's weird. YouTube's weird.
Would you say that because YouTube is a different, like I'm more comfortable probably. No, I don't know. I'm not really sure. So would you say like the things you do on YouTube are like a way of being an introvert or an extrovert? Like, because it's in our comfort zone of our own homes, but
Right.
it's potentially in front of, tens of people.
Yes, full tens of people. I agree.
Yeah.
You
Say
know,
millions, but potentially millions, I guess.
I think in a way it's kind of both. Because in real life, I'm definitely an introvert, 100%. My wife is the exact opposite. She's an extrovert. So it's but doing this stuff, like doing these videos and stuff over the years, I am way more comfortable now with being in front of people and being like I'm not as not sheltered, but I'm not like I don't feel as intimidated when I'm with a bunch of people now. And I think YouTube does have a little bit to do with that, because I am more comfortable with everything. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I just feel like YouTube strangely feels lower stakes, but yet if
Yeah.
I say something like I said something about a football team or something the other week, and someone called me out on it, and I was like, yeah, you're right. Like I made a mistake with that. But it still feels pretty low stakes. I always feel like I'm just talking to one person. It's almost like journaling or something or
Yeah,
diary.
yeah. It's weird because like I said, hanging out with you and like when this is live, like we're interacting with all the other people, and it becomes this big like camaraderie thing, and so I think it's a bit of both. I think it's a bit of both because, like I said, I am an introvert usually,
So,
but I like yeah, kind of just what I said. I feel more comfortable now.
yeah, and I guess guys our age, kind of, early 30s like us, um, we're still learning about ourselves, like we're still in our mid-20s and we're learning, we
Yeah,
want to
exactly. I'm not even old enough to rent a car yet. I don't
my nose was just growing then as well. Wow, that's really
even.
weird. Sadly, it was all in my nose. But the so as you can see, good interview questions. Hopefully, these were good interview questions. They assess the culture fit, like how you fit in your little ecosystem, rather than like someone's personality. So, like, it's about not necessarily about experience and working style. It's more about your kind of whether you will actually like doing what you're doing, I suppose is what I'm saying. And it seemed to keep coming back to that theme, which is quite interesting because that's kind of the key of cultural fit. Because if you're going to hold on to, like if we're talking about in business, you're going to hold on to people, they've got to enjoy the jobs, haven't they? Or they'll find a way to leave. uh,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
so yeah, so you've passed the cultural fit
Woo-hoo!
questions, finding colours, but now it's time for us to finish the last 5-10 minutes or
Now,
so
now
with
the real questions.
yeah. So you can choose any number you want. If they're not good, we'll choose a different one because some of them are a bit. But some of them are very British, but you're an Anglophile, so I think you might be all right with these. So any number you want. It does seem to go to 1,000, and then there's emergency questions. A question 1,001, and then it starts with bonus questions, which then go 1 to 25.
Ooh, okay.
So you've got a 1 to 1,000, 1 to 25, and then 1.
Okay.
Any you want.
Well, okay. So for the first one, I will choose based off of a classic, a cult classic movie. I'm gonna go 37.
I thought you were going to do a Bill and Ted then. Okay, so 37. 37. Okay. So, oh wow, this is quite a deep one. Okay, so some of them are silly and this one's not so silly. So, question 37. What age would you like to be when you get to heaven? Presuming there is a heaven and you get to choose what age you'll be when you're up there. Note, I am not asking you what age you will be when you die, just what age you'd like to revert to when you are flying around in heaven.
Okay. Okay. Hmm.
I thought that until I read the second part, I thought it was a different question.
Yeah. I'm glad that they clarified that. I don't know. Maybe the age I am now. I don't know because it's yeah. Like I'm in a good place, and I'm in like it's a good it's a good time to be. So maybe right now.
Nice. Just
Yeah,
flying around on that cloud,
that's right.
surfing,
But
surfing on the
with
cloud.
but with a little more facial hair because usually I have a little more. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I think I'm not going to answer the question. I was gonna say maybe no. I am going to answer. I was thinking for me, maybe like 2 years ago. I don't know. I just
Before we met,
okay.
yes, right, yeah.
Yeah. You're the key. You're the key to my downfall. Um, so this is an interesting one. Oh no, I have another one, but I really want to ask you this one. But no, I'll keep my integrity and let you choose. So go ahead. Next question.
All right. Let's go. You said it goes to 1,001. Okay.
1,000, and then there's one
And
on
then
it. So
25.
my
All right.
1,001.
Let's do bonus question number 22.
Bonus question 22. Oh, wow. Okay. So, okay. So, the person who wrote this book has been meaning to clean up the drain outside his kitchen ever since he moved 2 years ago. What is the longest running chore that you've been intending to do but keep putting off?
Probably mopping.
5 years.
Yeah. I
Window
I hate mopping. I hate mopping with all my being. Yeah, that and shaving regularly. I'm usually scraggly looking. Yeah.
So that's like but you put that's not bad though if those are the ones you put off the longest, because I imagine that you do mop and you do shave, so it's
Occasionally.
not like you're going, oh, 5 years ago I last shaved, or two
Yeah,
years ago I
no.
last mopped. So that's pretty good actually. It shows you're well organized. Okay, so let's do another.
Okay. Let's go in honor of Pugwall 316. Let's go with 316.
Oh, nice. I thought you were going to say 16 for some reason. So okay.
Or Austin 316. Yeah.
Austin 316. Oh, there's a 316A and there's a 316B.
Oh.
Let's
go. Let's go. Oh well, if they're linked, let's do them both. Yeah.
Okay, right, okay. So why do you think the fairy godmother only gave Cinderella all the magic stuff until midnight? Why didn't she let her keep them forever, or at least make them last till the morning so she didn't have to run away from the party? So that's 316A.
Okay. So my answer to that would be, apparently she's not that powerful, and that that is
Okay.
all that she was allowed to give.
Right. So it's just, that she was giving it all she's got. She's like Scotty down in the engine room. She's like, I'm giving it all I got, Captain.
You know, exactly.
Right. Fair enough. So what are the disadvantages of making slippers out of glass? Are there any advantages? So that's 316B. You can see why they're linked.
Well, you don't want me around glass. So for me, I would break it in about 2 seconds. So that is the disadvantage of having a glass slipper. The advantage, it looks pretty.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you don't. Nobody's going to comment on the style, I guess.
It looks pretty until someone touches it.
Yeah.
Then there's marks all over it.
There's something. Yeah, there's something. There's a moral there, but I don't know what it is. Right. If you want things to look pretty, don't touch them.
Don't touch the glass slipper, boys.
Yeah. There we go. Okay. Another one. Have you got time for another?
How are you doing?
I'll do with Louis Theroux. How's your energy? Are you okay? Are you all right?
Let's see. Let's go with 469.
469. 469, dude. Right. Okay. Oh, okay. Who is your favorite Quaker?
Who's my favorite Quaker?
That's ridiculous. I couldn't name one.
What's with the guy that's on the oatmeal box?
On the oats, yeah.
Yeah,
like Boss Hog.
That guy.
Yeah, I used to always think that was Boss Hog when I was
I can see that. So yeah, so my answer is Boss Hog. Yeah.
Okay, so the author of the book, Richard Herring, put John Cadbury. Without him and the Quaker faith, there would be no twirls. So I don't know if you've had a twirl, but a nice chocolate bar.
Yeah. True, very true.
So yeah, John Cadbury was a Quaker. You wouldn't think that a chocolate maker would be a Quaker. That rhymes. But no, you wouldn't make a Quaker. But you wouldn't think a chocolatier. They seem a bit more decadent than a Quaker, don't they?
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, is it?
No.
No. Okay, let's round this up. Let's do not round this.
Okay.
Let's
Well,
do.
let's do the question that you wanted to ask me.
Oh man, I can't remember what that one was now.
It was around 30. It was around 37.
Okay.
I think.
Okay, question 32. Is sex with a ghost cheating?
Yes. Yes, it
It
is.
is.
It is. It
Really?
is because they were once a soul, and they you know they want to get it on. So that part just hasn't left them yet.
Wow. Well, if we're going for like, I'm going to ask another one then as well. Should penis transplants ever be allowed? What are the possible terrifying consequences of such a procedure, in your opinion? So, for example, a rich man might harvest your penis for his own use before you finish with it.
I mean, I would I would only say because then we would not have had the song "Detachable Penis."
Okay, fair enough. Oh, here's one. Have you got anything else? Any extra penis facts there? Or are we done?
No, not really. No.
You were done with that one. So
Yeah.
I think the terrifying consequences of it could be like, what if it has like a mind of its own?
Okay, so what was
What
that
if it's
movie?
like idle hands?
You ever see Romeo and Juliet?
I have. Yes.
Yes, and there's a giant penis monster that comes out, and yeah.
Somehow I was thinking about Street Trash
Good
as
times.
well.
Yeah.
That was an unofficial penis transplant. So, okay. 2 questions to finish off with. Do you mind me choosing them, or do you want to choose them?
Sure, go for it.
Okay. We'll do. I'll do 2, and then you choose the last one. Okay.
All
right. So, would you rather date a woman who is a 6-foot who is a 6-foot vulva, or a woman who, instead of having genitalia, has another woman living in the burrow between her legs?
Well, I wouldn't because I am happily married.
Oh.
But
let's just say this is hypothetical. This isn't. You don't have to commit. Yeah.
Oh, what was the first one again? The 6 foot.
So they are a 6-foot vulva, and which I think is a Swedish car. And
I think I'd probably go with the 6 foot vulva because I'd only want to deal with one, not two.
Yeah, you just kind of just open, and they're like, "Yeah, how's it going?" And they're like,
yeah,
a bit like brain damage, but the opposite. Okay,
brain damage.
Yeah, yeah, drain damage, man. Okay, so what's the best museum? This is a more wholesome one. What's the best museum you've ever been to? And the answer that he gave is one that's near me, actually, near where I live.
Is it? That's funny. I can tell you the one that surprised me the most. When on our last visit to Tennessee, we stopped at the Cast Iron Museum, and I was shocked at how interesting and kind of expansive it all was. It was really neat. You learn about all these cast iron skillets and stuff, and I thought I was going to be bored to tears, and no, I was fully engaged the whole thing. It was really cool. And then afterwards, we ate at the restaurant that's attached to the museum.
And was the food all made of cast iron?
It was very hard to eat.
Wow, that's so ridiculous. Okay, so the last question, you get the.
All right,
you should have been choosing all of them, really.
Let's see. Let's go with 666.
667, almost the number of the beast.
Yeah, almost.
Right, 666. Is it there? Yeah, there is. Oh, well, this is a bit of a boring one, I'm afraid.
All right, well, let's try 667.
Okay. This is more fun. Do you think have you ever been at the center of a Twitter storm with 666, which I was like, Number
And the answer is no.
667.
Okay.
No. Do you think you would have made a good sheriff in the Wild West? That's a better question. That's a good one to finish with.
Perhaps.
I
don't know. The Wild West is kind of rough, man. Like,
it was pretty wild. It was pretty wild.
It's not called the Wild West for nothing.
No.
But I don't know. I think it would have been interesting. I don't know how long I would have lasted. And I know there was a lot of leeway in a lot of places. So I don't know. I don't no, I probably would not.
Leeway.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the only honest man in the Wild West, do you?
No. If Deadwood is any indication, then I probably would not have been very good at that job.
Well, do you know what? I think you would. But you'd probably be the guy in the shootout at the end who was like kind of, sticking to his guns literally and figuratively, doing the right thing, and then the bad guys all come with the first ever machine gun to like mow you down.
I'd have the freaking Gatling. I'd have like 1,000 bullets in me. Yeah. That's exactly what would happen.
But you did the right thing. So there's that.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So I'm just going to put a little bit of it. There we go. Subscribe now for the culture. So Al, your channel is scrolling across the screen at the moment. Thank you so much for this interview. Is there anything that you want to kind of promote or talk about that it might not even be something that you've made, just something you love, or something that you're doing something that's coming up? I know the B Zone is something, silent films. Like, go ahead, tell me whatever you want. The floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah, so besides all the YouTube stuff, which we've kind of covered already, I also host a silent movie program on the B Zone Roku channel. It airs about once a month on one of the Sundays. It's actually airing tonight. We're filming this on a Sunday. Actually, it's airing tonight. So I kind of host all these silent movies, and I talk about them, and I kind of introduce them to a new audience, and it's been really fun. And I really enjoy it, and I hope a lot of people like it, and because
they do.
Yeah, so there you go. And I hope you like my YouTube channel and Matt's YouTube channel, and spread the love. If you like it, spread the love.
Yeah, man, that's a good way to put it. I really enjoyed that. That was my first cultural fit questions. I hope it wasn't too taxing.
I am now scarred for life, and I can't. Yeah. I'm gonna end up like this guy right here.
I know he needs to eat.
He does.
I was concerned. I was concerned about that question. I'm going to have nightmares about some of those questions near the end. Some of the sort of body horror stuff.
Yeah. That was actually kind of fitting. It was kind of weirdly fitting.
Yeah. It's not unlike films that we've talked about.
Yeah, very, very. Yeah, exactly.
No. Oh, well, thank you, my friend. Thank you for coming on, being my first cultural fit victim / interviewee, and yes. Well done. Well done. Give yourself a no. No, thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.